The Committee on Workforce Development will now come to order. Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Chairman Henderson.
Here.
Vice Chair Gregory. Here. Representatives Bangert. Here. Brown. Here. Haley. Here. Hurlburt. Lewis. Here. Person. Railsback. Here. Sharp. Here. Thompson. Here. Walsh Moore. Young.
With 10 present, we've established a quorum. The Committee on Workforce Development will now go into executive session. I move that House Bill 2327, sponsored by Representative Riggs, be voted do pass. Any discussion? Seeing none, Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Chairman Henderson.
Aye.
Vice Chair Gregory.
Aye.
Representatives Bangert. Aye. Brown. Aye. Haley. Aye. Hurlburt. Lewis. Aye. Person. Railsback. Aye. Sharp. Aye. Thompson. Aye. Walsh Moore. Young. Aye. 10 ayes and no noes.
By your vote of 10 ayes and no noes, you have voted do pass House Bill 2327. I now move that House Bill 2564, sponsored by Representative Riggs, be voted do pass. And I have an amendment ending in .01H to offer. It has been distributed, and I move for its adoption. Basically, just to tell you, we're changing the word governor to Speaker of the House to give them the power to form this committee. And with that, any discussion? Seeing none. Voice vote. All those in favor of adopting House Committee Amendment number 0.01H signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed say no. The ayes have it. You've adopted the amendment. I now move to roll the House Committee Amendment number 01H into new House Bill Committee substitute and adopt the substitute. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed say no. The ayes have it. You've adopted the substitute. I now move that the House Committee substitute for House Bill 2564 be voted do pass. Any discussion? Seeing none. Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Chairman Henderson.
Aye.
Vice Chair Gregory. Representatives Bangert. Aye. Brown. Aye. Haley. Aye. Hurlburt. Aye. Lewis. Aye. Person. Railsback. Aye. Sharp. Aye. Thompson. Aye. Walsh Moore. Young.
By your vote of 11 ayes and no noes, you have voted House Committee substitute for Bill number 2564 do pass. I now move that House Bill 2583, sponsored by Representative Riggs, be voted do pass. And with that, I have an amendment in ending in .01H to offer. It has been distributed, and I move for its adoption. This amendment basically changes one word, and the word is by deleting the word joint. Any discussion? Okay, seeing none. All those in favor of adopting the House Committee Amendment .01H signify by saying aye. The ayes have it. You've adopted the amendment. I move we roll the amendment into House Committee substitute and adopt the substitute. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed say no. The ayes have it. You've adopted the substitute. I now move that House Committee substitute for House Bill 2564 be voted do pass. Any discussion? Of 2583. We had the wrong number. 2583, excuse me. The House Committee substitute for House Bill 2583 be voted do pass. Any discussion? Seeing none. Please call the roll.
Chairman Henderson.
Aye.
Vice Chair Gregory.
Aye.
Representatives Bangert.
Aye.
Brown.
Aye.
Haley.
Aye.
Hurlburt.
Aye.
Lewis.
Aye.
Person. Railsback, Sharp, Thompson, Walsh-Moore, Young.
By your vote of 11 ayes and no noes, you have voted House Committee Substitute for House Bill 2583 be voted do pass. That concludes our executive session. We will now hold a hearing on House Bill 2565, sponsored by Representative Berger. Representative, please proceed when you are ready.
Chair Henderson, Vice Chair Gregory, Ranking Minority Member Bangert, and the rest of the committee, thank you for allowing me to present this bill. My name is Jamie Berger, House District 148, representing Scott and Mississippi counties. House Bill 2625, Innovation Readiness Training Exception. This bill allows certain individuals holding a valid current professional license in another state or territory of the United States to practice such profession in Missouri without obtaining a Missouri license as part of a partnership with the Federal Innovation Readiness Training Program within the United States Department of Defense. Such individuals must be active duty or reserve members of the Armed Forces of the United States, members of the National Guard, civilian employees of the United States Department of Defense, and their practice of the profession in Missouri must be required by the Federal Innovation Readiness Training Program under military orders. This bill contains an emergency clause. This microphone is unhandy. This bill contains an emergency clause because in 2022, missions will be administered in Eminence, Ava, and Houston. These missions will be in June, so that's the reason for the emergency clause. With that, I'll take any questions.
Representative, thank you for bringing this bill forward. So basically, you're trying to make it easy for our military to get certified in some of these areas under the Innovative Readiness Training Program. So we're just trying to put our military, make it easier for them to work. Is that correct?
Exactly. So many places in southeast Missouri are underserved, and people don't have the ability to get to optometry or dental or whatever, and it allows our military to serve those people. And we kind of have a licensing holdback in Missouri, so this allows them to practice in Missouri.
Thank you. Any further questions for the witness? Any discussion? Representative Banger, please proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just to inquire, so the readiness program, what kind of jobs are in there? You mentioned optometry. Is it all careers or just certain ones?
IRT provides key services, healthcare, construction, transportation, and cybersecurity with lasting benefits for American communities. Through the Delta Area Economic Opportunity Corporation, as well as the Delta Regional Authority, the DOD administers medical IRT missions to underserved communities in southeast and south central Missouri. These medical missions provide training opportunities to military units while providing incidental benefits to communities via no-cost health care. Services include optometry, health exams, dental, and public health education. Care is delivered by credentialed healthcare providers, and no one is turned away. These missions are typically conducted as fairs and may last for several days or weeks at a time to ensure maximum benefit during time spent in the community served.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yes, ma'am.
Any other questions? Seeing none. Representative, thank you very much. Any witnesses to testify in support? And if so, please make sure you fill out a witness form and drop it in the box, please.
Good evening, and thank you for the opportunity to testify on behalf of this bill. My name is Joel Evans. I'm the president and CEO of Delta Area Economic Opportunity Corporation, a community action agency serving the 6 counties of southeast Missouri. We are one of 19 community action agencies serving the economically disadvantaged across the state of Missouri. For the last 11 years, we have partnered with the Department of Defense to bring innovative readiness training missions to southeast Missouri communities where there's particular need for health services, including health, vision, dental, and mental health services. These services are provided by the military at no cost, and no one is turned away. There are no criteria for services. Walk in the door and you receive that. Prior to the early 1990s, these services were offered in overseas environments, but after that, these services were brought to underserved communities in the United States to allow military reservists and guardsmen to practice their professions that they practice in civilian life in a deployment-like setting. They set up for 10 days to 2 weeks in churches, schools, empty buildings, and they are housed and supply themselves in those environments to provide those services. In a typical IRT mission, in our missions, up to 5,000 individuals have been served, and for the cost to my agency of $5,000 to $10,000, individuals receive $1.5 million in no-cost medical, vision, and dental services. There are other services provided through IRT. There's construction and engineering services, as well as aerial spraying and some diving, but we have limited our scope to healthcare services, as that's the greatest need in Southeast Missouri. When we make application, the Department of Defense legal review often chokes on the fact that we don't have explicit legislation that allows those doctors, nurses, pharmacists, optometrists to be able to practice in the state of Missouri with their home state credentialing under military orders. It makes it difficult for our applications to compete against other states' applications. My community action agency is in a unique position that we border 4 other states, so we work very closely with those other states and see those applications and see the questions that they get compared to the questions we receive.
Any questions for this witness? Seeing that, sir, thank you very much for being
Thank you
here.
for the opportunity.
Anybody else to testify in support? Seeing none. Anybody to testify in opposition? Seeing none. Anybody to testify for informational purposes only? Seeing none. Representative, you have anything else you need to add? With that, that concludes the hearing on workforce development.